Hi everyone, I am excited because we have another whole page of Halloween Tinies by Agotapop to colour in. This is from the Colouring Heaven Halloween special, and yes, we have these last 6 to do. I'm going to come in closer to our first one, you'll be able to see it better. So when I zoom out, the glare from my window and lamp is really bright, but once I come in, it all comes clear. Here we go. Oh, just trying to straighten up and get you in the middle. There we are. So you have a flying key, which is rather fun to do today. I've got my Polychromos pencils. I'm just going to get going. I'm going to start with burnt umber. We're going to do a gold key. I think I like gold. And we're just going to do some of the areas with a little bit of gold, now a little bit of brown. Now what I want to do in each of these areas, it's quite small for you to see, is put a dark line against the edge and then slightly scumble it out so it reduces. And the idea of that is that then when we come in with another colour, we can blend it in more easily because we've just got a little bit of that colour there. I'm just looking at these stripes. I'm going to put a line along there, and whoops, and there, like we've got a bit of shadow underneath them. And I feel like this is our sort of end, so I'm just going to put a bit there. I'm going to leave that and do a different colour. I think these stripes and this will do the same colour as each other, and we'll do a little bit here and here, and the tiniest bit in there. That's going to be quite difficult to feel. A bit here. Okay, now I've got quite a few details which I'm going to do in different colours. We're going to do this bit here in the dark. So I hope everyone's well today. It is Sunday morning. I was going to say I'm up bright and early, but what a lie. I didn't wake up till about 25 past 7. It's quite late for me really. And then no one else was awake or up, and I knew as soon as I left my bed I would wake up people. Husband, he would go back to sleep. This is brown ochre, and we're just going to extend all these little areas that we've done already. Especially my son, who's very light sleeper, and he needed a line, so I stayed in bed. I had my tablet beside me. I've got a few books by the bed, but I wasn't quite ready for reading, so I'm going to extend this down. I got my tablet and did a few quizzes. I do the Wordle, and there's a few other quizzes that the New York Times has that I do. Connections, and I can't remember the others. Some of them are a bit too American for me, some of the answers. You know, names of baseball teams or something. You're like, what? I don't even know the rules of baseball, let alone. Anyway, but I had to go at those, and then had a quick check, see what was going on Instagram, answered a Facebook message that I had, read the news. I shouldn't be doing that, but you know, just had a quick look. And then my son got up, so I got up, had a bit of a pamper morning actually. We used our new shower. Let's go again. It is still leaking, unfortunately, a little bit. We bought a new seal, but what we've done is we had a this is green gold, again extending these areas. We had a plumber back in, and he's put a bit of extra seal around certain areas so that it now only leaks on the floor, not anywhere else. And so I've got a shower mat there, so it leaks onto the shower mat, so it's not too bad. But we're going to buy a new seal for the door and hope that that works. But in the meantime, we're just starting to use it, and so that was nice. So I used the new shower and washed my hair and tied it up in a turban with my microfiber towel, which is ultra absorbent. And while my hair was up, I did a bit of pampering, moisturiser, all that sort of thing, which I rarely do. So I put some moisturiser on my elbows and wrists, where I always get dry skin in the winter. This is Naples yellow. I was reading how to avoid it, and it said moisturiser, and I was like, derp. Yes, of course. But what I usually do is I wait until it gets bad and then start moisturising it. So I thought, if I start moisturising it now, maybe it won't even appear. So that's my sort of thinking. And so I moisturised and then put some face cream on. I get a lot of dry skin around my eyes. And I've got a really lovely light moisturiser that you can put on your eyelids and it doesn't make them feel heavy. And then came downstairs. My son was already down here by then, and I uploaded 3-4 videos that I made yesterday, which have been exporting overnight. It looks fairly gold, doesn't it? I'm thinking the bits that we've left we'll do in silver. Now silver, I'm just going to use this grey here, this Cold Grey 5. You need to be careful because it can be quite dark, but I want to contrast from dark to light, so I need to apply the right amount of pressure. So while the end here I want to be quite intense, I want to make sure that I reduce that so that it goes quite light in the middle like that. Yes, and then had breakfast. My son came down with me, which was nice, and we were having a go at the crossword while we were eating. Me and my son, we enjoy our crosswords. Cryptic crossword keeps my brain going. We were looking up a few of the words because we were getting a bit stuck, but we were having fun anyway, so that was good. And so we did that and got a few more. Actually tended to we rubbed a few out, so I'm not really sure. I could do these as jewels, couldn't I? So we actually probably rubbed out more than we filled in. But never mind, we're getting there. It's a bit of fun. Now I'm looking, we've got this bit here, and I think we've got a sort of background part here. I'm going to do a bit around the edge, like that. I fade it a bit, I'm not quite sure. And this I'm thinking like that. And maybe leave this blank as if it's got a bit of a gap. Keys tend to not be fully solid on this bit always. Behind these, do a bit of silver as well, I think. And then, there we go. And the same on this side. So really I'm just putting a bit more on the ends than the centre. Not very happy with this bit. I'm trying to make it a bit darker at the ends. I think it's okay. Right, let's have a think about gemstones and wings. Wings are not the easiest thing to colour, I have to say, but I have a little trick or a little method. It's not really a trick, it's just how I do it. So use a light pink first. So here's my light magenta, and I'm going to do a few areas in really light pink like this. Let's see, no thought pattern, just some areas. I don't know if you can really see that. The idea is it's really pale. Then a blue. Here's our sky blue, so a light one again. Put some in some of the areas that you didn't put pink. You see I'm holding it quite low down to get a really light layer of colour. Like that. And then a light purple. I think the violet is our lightest purpley colour. And just try and fill in the gaps wherever you can see them. If you're over colouring, it doesn't really matter. Just get in those corners and edges. Just make sure everything's got some colour on it. Like that. Then over the top of that, we want a white. Now, I'm going to use a Prismacolor white. I just happen to have one here. go over the black lines as well. Can you see how it's blanking those out? Now you do have to be careful. I did risk this, take a risk here, because sometimes black will smudge, but this seems to be okay, I think, as far as I can tell. You colour over those white lines, it fades them back, makes it all look a bit more see-through, and the white will fade the colour pencil too. So hopefully you can see the difference between there and there. It's subtle, but it's there. Oh, it's a very noisy train. There we go, and then the same on this one. But this doesn't look very Halloween-y. It just looks magical. I think that's okay. Alright, let's have a look. I was chatting to Agata last night, and vaguely through messaging, so it wasn't like a proper conversation, but I'm going to do the gemstones in this middle purple pink, and I'm just going to fill them in. Now what I would normally do is try to get the outside darker than the middle, and I'm going to try, but they're really little, so I don't think I'll be very successful, particularly on these teeny ones. I'm going to have to sharpen up anyway. She was telling me that she is beginning to feel better. She, I don't know if you know, she's been poorly. She does have off days still, which is sad, but she's getting back on top of her work again, because she's got deadlines. She said she probably should be resting up more than she is, but yeah, she said she's got deadlines to fulfill for work. And did I do those in grey? I'm going to put some pink on top of that. But yes, she's feeling a tad better, which is good news. Next job, glitter. Very tempting. Right, yes. Diamond Stickles. I'm going to use these on the wings. Now you could use a glitter pen. These are a bit thicker. Now I wouldn't use these in a colouring book. I'm just going to shake them up all the time, because they're very thick and you can't colour on the back. But I'm not going to be colouring on the back of this page. Look, it's quite a big blob. And so I'm going to put them on here. You can see I've squirted out way too much, and hopefully I'll be able to spread it. Yeah, you spread it with the nib of the pot. That probably is quite nice. And they are very, very sparkly. But as I say, I've squirted out loads, as you would have seen, and it leaves a big thick blob, which if you want to colour on the back, I've just got a bit in the wrong place. That's dried. Now I've got a sparkly pencil rubber. Just use my eraser pencil to get it off, because then I could sharpen it away. I thought the rubber tip might work, didn't. Anyway, yeah, so if you're going to colour on the back, I really would not advise using this, because it leaves a big blob. It's really hard to colour on the back of. I've made the mistake myself. It's beginning to run out. I think it might have run out. Can't get any out. That's not good. Oh, there it is. Oh dear. No, I've squeezed too much out. It'll come. It will spread. I've got quite a lot of space actually to spread it into. There we go. So these are absolutely lovely. Really, really lovely. And the fact that they give you a textured effect can be actually quite good. but you can see how pretty they are. But the problem is that, as I say, when you colour on them, you can't colour on the back. Now I've got a black diamond one. Can you see that? And I'm going to use that for the dots around it, just to make it look a bit more scary, because it's Halloween. Now these are going to be big globules for quite a small dot, so it's going to be a bit bigger than the dots, but I think black is just a bit more Halloweeny, and it's not spooky scary, it's just a bit different. You can see it's quite tricky, and this takes a long time to dry, as you can imagine, with the amount of thick glue that is here present. But now I think I'm going to do that one and that one. It's just trying to work out which dots belong to which picture. I think that belongs there. There we go. And you can probably see, I can, that the paper is already slightly warping underneath here where it's so wet, because there's so much sort of glue, it really wets the paper. But you know, it's it looks shiny and fun and nice. So sparkly. And you could put it over the key as well. I feel like the key needs some sparkle, because it's, I'm tempted, whoops, to go over the key with the Gellyroll Stardust to make that sparkle as well, just because otherwise it sits back too much. I don't know whether I should have put some white on the gemstones first, but it's a bit late now. And this is a fine, much finer glitter, so it's easier to colour on the back of, but it still can, if you make it too thick, it still can be a little bit tricky colouring on the back, but nothing like as hard as the Stickles. But you can see why the Stickles are so nice. They give such a glossy look, so much more dramatic than this, which you can probably barely see. If I tip it up to the light, you can see it. There we go. There is our key. I'm going to leave that there. I think you can see all of it now. There we go. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope that you have a really super sparkly day, and happy colouring.